Okay, welcome back to another video on the Math channel. It's your teacher Mr. Lim here, and in this video we'll be looking at the cosine rule. So by the end of this lesson you'll be able to do these four things. Know when to use the sine rule or the cosine rule, know what the cosine rule is, and use the cosine rule to find an unknown side and find an unknown angle. So, when to use the sine rule or the cosine rule. You should use the sine rule when there are two angles and there are the two opposite sides. So here, we've got this angle with that side, with the opposite side. Here we've got another angle with its opposite side. Two angles, two sides. Two angles, two sides. Okay, but remember, they always match with the opposite one. You should use the cosine rule when there are three sides and one angle. So here, we've got three sides and one angle. Three sides, one angle. So, I'm going to get you to pause the video here, see if you can answer these 6 questions, whether you need to use the cosine rule or the sine rule to calculate the value of x. Alright, let's come back together. So in question A, we've got 3 sides and 1 angle, so we're using the cos rule. Question B, we have 2 sides and 2 angles, so we're using the sine rule. Question B, we've got 2 sides and 2 angles, so we're using the sine rule. Question D, 2 sides, 2 angles. Sorry, 3 sides, 1 angle, so that's the cos rule. Question E, we've got 2 sides and 2 angles, so that's sine. And question F, we've got 3 sides and 1 angle, so that's cos. Okay. So now we know when to use the sine rule and the cosine rule. Let's have a look at and see what the cosine rule is. When finding an unknown side using the cosine rule, we use the formula c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cos c. This formula is on your formula sheet. The important thing to know is, what is this c? Okay, that c is the side that is opposite the angle given to us. So this is the angle given. This is the side opposite, the opposite side. So, if you're given multiple angles, then c, lowercase c, will be the side that you're trying to work out. Capital C is the angle that's opposite to the side that you're trying to work out. Right. When finding an unknown angle, using the cosine rule, we use the formula cos of capital C is equal to a squared plus b squared minus c squared all over 2ab. Remember, it's important to remember that this lowercase c is the side opposite the angle you are trying to find, you are finding. Okay, so this is the angle we're finding. Lowercase c is the side opposite that. It doesn't matter what a and b are. So let's apply these two rules. Let's apply the first one to find an unknown side. Remember, the key is knowing which side is c. Find the length of the third side in this triangle corrected 2 decimal places. Well, this is the length of the third side, which we can call c. We will write the formula c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cos c. Because this is the side we're trying to find, capital C is the angle that's opposite to it, which is 102 degrees in this case. So we have 3 squared plus 2 squared. Again, it doesn't matter what a and b are. Minus 2 times 3 times 2 times cos of 102. Let's put that in our calculators. 3 squared plus 2 squared minus 2 times 3 times 2 times cos 102. 15.49. But remember, that's c squared, so we need to square root that, which is equal to 3.94. centimeters because all of these other units are in centimeters. I'll get you to pause the video, have a go with question A, B, and C, and when you're ready to check your answers, continue playing the video. Okay, so here it says find the length of the third side. We can call them C for all of them. So we got C squared is equal to 11 squared plus 7 squared minus 2 times 11 times 7 times cos of 125. Put that into the calculator. Which is 258.33. But to get C, we need to square root that. $16.07. Okay, question B. I'm just going to pause here and then you can see the answers soon. Okay, so here are the answers for question B and C. In question B, the third side is 8.85 meters, and for question C, the third side is 14.78 centimeters. Okay, so now we know how to find an unknown side using the cosine rule. Let's have a look at how to find an unknown angle using the cosine rule. Remember that the key is knowing which side is C. So here's the formula. Cos of C is equal to a squared plus b squared minus c squared all over 2ab. C, this lowercase c, is the side that's opposite to the angle that we are trying to find. So this is C. It doesn't matter what A and B are. So cos of theta is equal to 13 squared plus 12 squared minus 8 squared all over 2 times 13 times 12. So theta is equal to the inverse cos of all of that. Okay, remember whenever we are trying to find out an angle, an unknown angle, we need to find the inverse or the arc. And on our calculators, we need to press shift. So let's put that into our calculator. Inverse cos of 13 squared plus 12 squared minus 8 squared over 2 times 13 times 12. And that equals to 37.05 degrees. Now this question says correct to the nearest minute, so we need to press this bubble button, degrees, minutes, seconds, 37 degrees and 3 minutes. And that's our final answer. I'll get you to pause the video here, have a go with questions A, B, and C, and when you're ready to work out the answers, or to check your answers, I'll get you to continue playing the video. Okay, so here are the answers. For question A, theta is 81.79 degrees. Remember, when we minus our c squared, c is the side that's opposite to the angle we are trying to find. Same with question B. When we are minusing our c squared, we are minusing the side that is opposite to the angle that we are trying to find. So in question B, the size of the angle is 104.48 degrees. And for question C, it's 64.62 degrees. The side that we are minusing, minus c squared, is opposite to the angle that we are trying to find. Alright, here's another extra question. Have a go with this one. Pause the video, and when you're ready to check your answers, I'll continue playing the video. Okay, so this question says a triangular goat paddock has two sides of lengths 320 meters and 170 meters, and a 71 degree angle between them. Find the length of the third side correct to the nearest meter. So whenever we are given a worded question like this, a worded problem, always draw a diagram. 320 meters, 170 meters, and the angle in between them is 71 degrees. So we need to work out this. Because we're given 3 sides and 1 angle, we need to use a cosine rule. So we have x squared is equal to 320 squared plus 170 squared minus 2 times 320 times 170 times cos 71. Remember, the angle is always opposite to the side that we're trying to find. When we put that in our calculator, what do we get? $95,878. And so x is equal to the square root of that, 309.6, but to the nearest meter, 310 meters. Last question for this video. I'll get you to pause the video, have a go yourselves, and when you're ready to check your answers, continue playing the video. Okay, so a helicopter on joy flight over Kakadu National Park travels due east for 125 kilometers. So 125 kilometers. Then on a bearing of 215 degrees for 137 kilometers. So from north of that, in a clockwise direction, 215 degrees, well that's 180. So 215 is about there for 137 kilometers. 137 kilometers. And then returns to its starting position. Okay, so that's 215. So we need to work out, in order to work out the total length of the journey, we need this last bit. And in order to work that out, because we've got 3 sides, we need 1 angle. We need that angle. So that angle there has to be 270 minus 215, which is equal to 55 degrees. And now we have all the information in order to work out x. So x squared is equal to 125 squared plus 137 squared minus 2 times 125 times 137 times cos of 55. Put that in the calculator. Okay, so that gives us 14,749. So x is equal to the square root of that, 121.4 kilometers. So the total length has to be 125 plus 137 plus 121.4, but because it says to the nearest kilometer, I'm just going to round that down to 121, which will give us 383 kilometers. So now you should know when to use the sine rule and the cosine rule, what the 2 formulas are for finding an unknown side and an unknown angle, and how to find an unknown side and unknown angle using the cosine rule. And that's it for this video.